Hello everyone and welcome to English in 10. My name is Ehab and this is the place where we talk about English, we practice English, and hopefully in 10 minutes we learn something about English. The topic for today is the easiest way to have a conversation. So I've had many students over the years and they always tell me there is one problem that they have when they try to have a conversation. The problem is they introduce each other. They say, hello, my name is, and then after that, it sort of goes quiet. There's not too much to talk about after that. All right, so in English, after you introduce yourselves, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit, ways that you can introduce yourselves, or common ways to ask about how things are going. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about how to end a conversation. But in between, okay, the easiest way to keep a conversation going is to ask questions. All right? Now, what kind of questions are you going to ask? Well, in English, there are two types of questions. There are questions that we call yes-no questions, and there are questions that we call WH questions, which are information questions. So, I'm going to show you just a couple of examples of the different types of questions. And then after that, I'm going to show you how we can use it in a conversation. All right, so let's go to the board. Okay, so the first type of question that I'm going to focus on is going to be yes-no question. A yes-no question basically means that there's a yes-no answer, okay? For example, do you work? When you ask somebody that question, there's going to be two answers. Yes, I do. Or no, I don't. Or you can say, yes, I work, or no, I don't work. It's up to you. But either way, there's going to be only two answers, okay? Now, these are other examples of yes-no questions. So, do you work? Do you go to school? Do you live in a big city? Do you like movies? Again, with all of these questions, there's only going to be two answers, either yes or no. All right. Now, when you guys are having a conversation and you are starting to get to know the other person, you can start off by asking questions like this. Okay. Now, when the person answers no, then obviously you're just going to move on and talk about something else. But if the person says yes, for example, okay, it's red over here. Do you work? Yes, I do. Okay, now after this, then you can move over and then start asking a WH question. All right, with the WH question, these are great for conversation because now the person can give you more information. So, do you work? Yes, I do. What do you do? When you ask somebody what do you do, then they're going to have to give you some information. I am a teacher. I am a nurse. I am a lawyer. Whatever the job may be. Okay? I am a salesperson. Now, let's say that the person is not a worker. Let's say that they are a student. Okay. Do you go to school? Again, yes, I do. All right. What do you study? I study business. I study English. I study engineering. Whatever the subject is, it gives them a chance to give you more information about the subject that they are studying. Now, a lot of times we like to ask about where we live, which is great. That's a great way to keep a conversation going because there's a lot of questions you can ask about your city. You can ask about the people, you can ask about the weather, you can ask about many things. Restaurants, shops, stores, many, many things. All right? Now, do you live in a big city? Yes, I do, or no, I don't. Either one is fine, okay? Now, the next one would be a WH. Where? Where do you live? Okay? When they tell you the answer, I live in Los Angeles. I live in Cairo. I live in Tokyo. Okay, doesn't matter. Then they can start giving you information about it. All right, and again, with city and where you live, there's lots of things that you guys can talk about. You guys can also get into hobbies, okay? Your interests, things that you like to do. Do you like movies? Okay, yes. Yes, I do. Okay. Which ones do you like? I like drama. I like scary movie. I like action movie. All right? So, this is a great way right here to have a conversation and make the conversation longer. Okay? Now, I want to talk about ways to ask about things in the beginning and ways that you guys can end it. Okay? So that'll be the next thing that we get to. Okay, so now I want to spend a little bit of time talking about what I like to call intros and outros. Intros is at the beginning of the conversation, okay? So when you and the person first see each other, all right, there's certain things that you can say to that person to begin a conversation. Hi is always good, okay? But there are other kinds of questions that you guys can ask. And usually when we hear these, we know that it's the beginning of a conversation, all right? How are you? This is always good. How's it going? Okay? How's it going? It's just like how are you? Same thing. Somebody wants to know about you. How are things? Another way to start a conversation. What's up? Okay? All of them kind of mean the same thing. All right? Somebody wants to begin to start a conversation and talk with you. All right? And again, in the middle, after these, when you answer, how are you? I'm good. I'm doing okay. And then we can start getting into the questions. All right? The yes, no questions, the WH questions, and we can make our conversation go. Now, let's say we've been talking for a while, 5, 10 minutes, whatever the case may be. All right? These are what I call outros. Okay? Outros is when we finish. So, how do we end? Take care. See you later. Bye. So long. All of these phrases right here mean the conversation is coming to an end. All right, one last thing. Let's set up a small dialogue on the board just so I can show you what all of this looks like. All right? Okay, so what does all this look like? All right? Here is a small example, all right, of what a conversation would be like. All right? So let's say there are two people, Bill and Lisa, all right? And they are talking to one another, all right? Now, let's say that they meet each other on Monday. It could be at work, maybe it's at school, it doesn't matter. And they first see each other, all right? So this is how it would start, okay? And then I'm trying to show you an example of how you would keep it going longer, all right? So Bill says, hey Lisa, how are things? That's just an intro. Lisa says, everything is good. What's up with you? Bill, I'm fine too. I had a great weekend. So usually when we see each other on Monday, that's what we talk about. We talk about what we did the couple days before, which is the weekend. Now, as soon as Bill hears this, okay, or as soon as Lisa hears this, then she's gonna ask a question, all right? It's an information, a WH question. What did you do? Now, Bill says, I went to the beach. He's giving information, okay? But again, when Lisa hears, I went to the beach, she can give her opinion, okay? And say, that's nice, but she can also say, which beach? Because we are here in Los Angeles and there's so many beaches. I went to Santa Monica. Then Bill says, then I met a friend. So Lisa hears a friend and she can ask another question. Who did you meet? Okay? Now, if you notice, the conversation keeps getting longer and longer, only because Lisa is asking questions. Okay? Just by asking those 3 WH questions, you make the conversation long. Okay? Now, let's say, it has passed now, some time has passed and they're talking for a while and they want to finish the conversation. Okay? Bill can end by saying, "Take care, Lisa." That's just an outro. Lisa can say, "Bye." When people hear these words, they know that the conversation is finished. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys learned something in 10 minutes. Again, for the topic, the easiest way to have a conversation. Remember, when you're talking to somebody and you want to continue with the conversation, ask a question. It could be a yes/no question. It could be a WH question. Either one. That's it for today, guys. Bye for now, and I will see you soon in the next video. Bye-bye.